der Ende der 40er und Anfang der 50er Jahre einen Bluesstil entwickelte, der heute als Modern Blues überall auf der Welt anerkannt ist.
I'm working now on an average of about 300 days a year. In 56, I did 342 one-nighters. So the next year, I took a month off. That was in 57, I took a month off. So I was divorced in 66, so I took a month off after that, and last year I took a month off. So I've only had 3 months off in my whole career, and that's been over 30 years.
Die Geschichte von Riley B. King beginnt 1925 auf einer Plantage in Mississippi. Schon als Kind lernt er in der Kirche die Gospelmusik kennen. Bei Pflanzer Johnson Barrett in Indianola pflückt er Baumwolle. Nebenbei singt er und lernt Gitarre. Dann ist er mit den St. John's Gospel Singers im Mississippi-Delta unterwegs. Seine erste elektrische Gitarre bekommt er 1945 von seinem Vetter Booker White, einem bekannten Bluesmusiker.
I've been downhearted, baby. Ever since the day we met, I say I've been downhearted, baby. Ever since the day we met. You know our love is nothing but the blues, baby. Baby, how blue can you get? You evil when I'm with you, baby. And you are jealous when we're apart. I say you're evil. You're so evil when I'm with you, baby. And you are jealous when we're apart. How blue can you get, baby? The answer's right here in my heart. I gave you a brand new Ford, but you said I went to California. I bought you a $10 dinner, and you said thanks for the snack. I let you live in my penthouse. Said it was just a shack. I gave you 7 children, and now you wanna give them back. I've been downhearted, baby. Ever since the day we met. Say our love is nothing but the blues. Baby, how blue can you get?
Well, my family was a very religious family. We had a religious background, and every Sunday it was some church we would go to. In fact, even during the week, it wasn't much to do to amuse oneself, with the exception of going to different family homes and singing. We had what they call singing every Mondays and Wednesdays or Tuesdays and Friday nights. And that was something to look forward to, because you would get a chance to see other people. And of course, me as a youngster get a chance to hang out with the kids. And of course, to hear good singing and have different foods, because sometimes some of the families would have pretty good food there, and you might be a little short yourself. So if you went over to someone else's home, you got a chance to eat food that was different from what usually you had at the house. And that was always a reason for wanting to go. But the singing itself was kind of like a type of food itself. It kind of filled you up, made you meet tomorrow better.
But you worked at that time?
Oh yeah, you worked every day.
What kind of work you did?
I was on the plantation or farm.
Yeah.
And farm work or plantation work, you're never done. You just stop, but you're never through. So usually in the church, the church that I went to, we had our preacher played guitar. And the sanctified churches, to me, have some of the best singing in the world. In fact, today, soul music to me is a takeoff from the gospel type music that was played in church when I was going to church. I mean, the preacher in the Sanctified Church was one of the first that made me really want to play guitar, because to me that was a sound that just seemed to really turn me on. But later on, my aunt was kind of like the young people are today, was a record collector. She'd buy records all the time. And among her favorite artists was Lemon Jefferson, a guy we call him Blind Lemon Jefferson, which was a guitar player as well as blues singer. And her collection also was Lonnie Johnson. Now, she had many records, and usually when I was a good boy, she'd let me play a phonograph. Yeah. She had one of those wind up and put the 78 type record on it. Usually when I was good, she'd let me play it, and I stayed good around her. I'd do anything she asked. But listening to all of the records she had, these two stood out in my mind, and they stayed with me all the time, Lonnie Johnson and Blind Lemon. And I started to really want to play behind listening to them. But then later on, when I heard T-Bone Walker, that's when I decided that this is it. I'd have to play electric guitar, because I'd never heard anything like his. It was really something else, you know. And I think that's what really made me want to play. Of course, I had a cousin named Booker White that played it. I liked his playing, but his personality was something that was out of sight as far as I was concerned. I wanted to grow up being like him, that is, make people laugh. But the way he played with a bottleneck, I could never do it. And so when I'd hear him play, I'd go back and grab the guitar and trill my hand like that. And my ears would tell me that sounds similar to his bottleneck playing. And I think that's what really turned me on and started me to playing the way I do.
Nobody loves me but my mother. And she could be jiving too. when I first met you, baby. Baby, you were just sweet 16. Just left your home then, baby. Oh, the sweetest thing I'd ever seen. But you wouldn't do nothing for me, baby. You wouldn't do anything I asked you to. Wouldn't do nothing for me, baby. Oh, you wouldn't do anything I asked you to. You know you ran away from your home, baby. And now you wanna run away. You know I love you, baby. I loved you before I could call your name. You know I love you, baby. I loved you before I could call your name. But it seems like everything I do now, baby, everything I do is in vain. My brother's in Korea, baby. My sister's down in New Orleans. Brothers in Korea, baby. Oh, sister's down in New Orleans. You know I'm having so much trouble, people. What the world is gonna happen to me? Bring to me, baby. But I'll keep on loving you just the same. Bring me, baby. I'll keep loving you, keep on loving you just the same. Hey, one of these days, baby, you're gonna give a lot of money to hear someone call my name. Oh, yeah, sweet 16, baby, sweet 16. Oh, yeah, the sweetest thing, baby. Oh, yeah, the sweetest thing I ever seen. You know I'm having so much trouble, people. Baby, I wonder, yes, I wonder, baby, I wonder. Oh, I wonder what the world's gonna happen to me. Hey, all right. Thank you very much.
Around Indianola, there was no connections as far as record companies was concerned. So I'd heard Sonny Boy Williamson and other people on the radio away from Indianola. In fact, like I said, it was just no connections. I couldn't find anybody around that I could talk to about recording music. So I felt that Memphis, I'd heard a lot about Memphis. I'd never gone there, but I heard a lot about it. I felt that once I got there, I could get a break. And sure enough, that's what happened.
How was the first contact? Was war Ihr erster Kontakt in Memphis?
My first contact was with Sonny Boy Williamson in West Memphis, who was on the radio at that time. He put me on the air, let me sing a tune on his show one afternoon.
Live.
Pardon?
That was live on the radio show.
Live, yes.
Yeah.
It was live.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened that night he had two jobs. One to play for Miss Annie. This was a lady that had a little tavern there where he'd normally play. And it was called the 16th Street Grill. And, of course, he had found another job that was going to pay him much more money than the $12 that she normally paid. Yeah. So by putting me on the air that day, the lady heard me. So he told her that night that he was going to send me to play in his place if she had heard me, and she said yes. And he said, well, I'll let him play tonight, and I'll come back next week. So she said, fine. Well, when I went over to play for her at the 16th Street Grill, my job was to entertain the ladies, which I liked very much, while the fellas go in the back and they played games, like gambling, So the lady told me that if I could get on the radio, same as Sonny Boy, the gentleman that had put me on air, then she would give me a job playing there 6 nights a week at $12 a day, room and board. Man, I couldn't believe anything like that could ever happen to me. And playing for ladies, too? So at that time, I heard about a new radio station that had just opened up in Memphis, Tennessee. It had been a country and western station, and 2 men had bought it and turned it into an all-black operated station. So I went over there, and the day I went over there, they put me on the air that very day, singing, well, as I felt like, and my sponsor was a product that was competitive to my friend that had put me on the air. And the tonic was called Pepticon. Now, my friend, Sonny Boy, his was Hadacol. It was a tonic, and mine, competitive to his, was supposed to be good for anything that ails you. So I wrote a jingle for it that went like this. Let's see if I can get the right key. This is a long time. That was in 49. Pepticon show is good. Pepticon show is good. Pepticon show is good. You can get it anywhere in your neighborhood. That's how it started. Started from right there, and of course, 10 minutes a day I was on the air. And the reason for that is, the reason why the lady wanted me to go on the air is because if I was on the air, I could advertise her place, advertise the point that I was playing there, and the people would come. But the Pepticon show got to be very popular. So I was going on the air at 3:30 to 3:40 every day. And it got to be so popular till they had to give me more time. So they changed it from 3:30 to 3:40, from that time rather, to 12:15 to 12:30, 15 minutes a day live playing, just me and my guitar. Then I started a trio. I hired a guy called Earl Forrest playing drums, and a guy called John Alexander later on called John Ace playing piano. And that was my trio. And of course, from there on, I went to be a disc jockey, and here I am.
Beale Street in Memphis, im Schallplatten- und Schuhputzladen von Robert Henry, der nebenbei als Manager und Impresario arbeitet, beginnt 1949 seine Karriere als professioneller Künstler.
You did that under the name of B.B. King? Or?
No, it first started just Riley King, the Beale Street Blues Boy. And people stopped saying the Beale Street Blues Boy and would just say B.B., which meant Blues Boy. And that caught on very well. And after a while, the Riley just was left out completely.
Nach wenigen Jahren war so populär, dass mit eigener Band auf Konzerttournee gehen konnte. Wer war damals eigentlich sein Publikum?
It was, I would say, 98% black. That was maybe that other 2% that knew me, and some of them, the whites would probably I've had them to tell me recently that a lot of kids was in school at dormitories. They would have to buy the records, and they would play them after the lights was off. A lot of times the Damen, things of that sort. So actually, we didn't start to reach the white market until the 60s.
Warum war das so?
Well, I don't think it was actually programmed. It wasn't directed to the white market. If one didn't live in Memphis, per se, there was no other radio station with the exception of Nashville, Tennessee, that played black music where whites could be exposed to it. Because at that time, there was segregation, so it was not a social, it wasn't, people didn't meet socially in clubs that often, so they didn't really get a chance to be exposed to this kind of music.
Sie haben oft mit weißen Musikern gespielt und Sie sollen mal gesagt haben, Blues und korrektes Englisch passen nicht zusammen. Was meinten Sie damit?
I meant it this way. The average blues player, I only know one or two that are college graduates. Most of us don't use correct English. And usually the average person that uses correct English would feel a little ashamed to say them bones. They would say them bones, when I wouldn't mind at all saying them bones, or not using a clear that. Sometimes we use that's. A few other words that a professor wouldn't use, or any person that uses correct English wouldn't use. But we find it fits very well in what we want to do.
So that makes it what is the blues?
Well, it's not refined, see. There are a few blues musicians that sing modern blues. They would use correct English, but most of us that play the type blues that I play and a few others that I could name, usually we don't use proper English. And that's what makes it a little hard for a lot of whites to sing blues and a lot of the middle-class blacks to actually sing them, or really go for it. They like the sound they hear, but they don't like the words.
Thank you.
want a soul, baby. Hanging around my house when I'm not at home. I say I don't want a soul, baby. That means nobody. Hanging around my house when I'm not at home. I don't want you to answer the door for nobody, baby. Oh, when you home and you know you all alone. I don't want your sister coming by because the girl, she talk too much. If she just have to come out and see us, tell her to meet us Sunday down at the church. Yes, I don't want to go, baby, hanging around my house when I'm not at home. I don't want you to answer the door for nobody, baby. Oh, when you home and you know you all alone. Now you might feel a little sick, baby, and you know you're home all alone. I don't want the doctor at my house. So you just suffer till I get home. Yes, I don't want to go, baby. Hanging around my house, not at home. I don't want you to answer the door for nobody, baby. Oh, when you're home and you know you're all alone. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
That's the one thing I find that helps one when you're on the road is keep yourself busy. And keeping yourself busy, you kind of stay, I think, fresh like that because you find that when it comes time to go to work, you can you'll have something new, something that you don't just pick up on stage. I think a lot of times people feel that the average entertainer, I should say, is when you go on stage, it's like, especially blues singers or blues musicians, they feel that you're playing something there, whatever comes into mind, that hadn't been planned prior to that time. Well, in some cases this may be true, but most of us usually, that's some of my work laying up there, most of us study quite a bit and practice to try and make yourself better. And usually when you go on the stage, you play something, you know what you're going to play because you've already practiced it. For instance, I keep my little box going here. It's good to practice with as well as listen to for radio or cassette. I was just checking out a rhythmic pattern just then, something I'll try with the band later on. It's just something that would have just a kind of a mod effect on some of the slow blues that we usually do.
Sie arbeiten an einem Buch?
This is going to be a completely different book from anything that I've seen on the market. This is going to be for the guitarist that, or the musician, I should say, that started as I did, and that is, that had no musical background in the beginning. So if you want to find the same run or the same thing that he may play, okay, for instance, we'll say this run here. without without the beat. Let's see if I can get it there without. Let's assume that he was in the key of C and you wanted to do this. Just that bit there. Well, if you looked up the numbers, there is a mathematical number that I played there. Okay. A guy would know where to play it in another key, but if you look up that number, he would find it in any other key. So, okay, we in key of C now. We'll go to A flat, for instance. And you could do it all over the instrument in all 12 keys, 12 tones. That's just a little bit about it, but it's going to go much further than that.
All right. 3 days of school in Birmingham. Thought you'd want to know just where I am. Bring my number all night long. No comfort on the telephone. When I got me midnight flight, thought that love would make everything all right. But the landlord said you moved away and left me with your bills to pay. It's too bad, think you would have made your move soon. She left me with a keen old car. The life in Vegas sure ain't hard. Ran it up to about 50 grand. Cashed it in and held it in my hand. That kind of news, you know, can get around. For the lost love to come up found. I hear you knocking, baby, at my door. But you know you don't live here no more. It's too bad. Think you might have made your move too soon. I've been from Spain to Tokyo, from Africa to Ohio. I never tried to make the news. I'm just a man that plays the blues. I take my loving everywhere. I come back, people, you know, they still care. One love ahead, one love behind, one in my arms and one on my mind. And there's one thing, people, never make my move too soon. Never make your move too soon, babe. Yes, all right, thank you. Thank you very much. We thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.